And two, how do you plead to conspiracy to violate the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organization Act? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
How do you plead to theft by receiving stolen property? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
How do you plead to violation of the Georgia Controlled Substance Act in count 9? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
How do you plead to violation of the Georgia Controlled Substance Act as to count 10? Guilty or not guilty? How do you plead to possession of a firearm by a convicted felon?
Guilty.
How do you plead to participation in criminal street gang activity?
Guilty.
How do you plead to armed robbery reduced to robbery by force?
Guilty.
How do you plead to hijacking a motor vehicle in the first degree? Is this guilty plea freely and voluntarily given with a full knowledge of the charges against you? Do you understand that you have only a limited right to...
Defendant has personal knowledge that he and other members or associates of YSL have either participated in or directly committed at least one of the following crimes in order to increase the notoriety and reputation of YSL: murder, armed robbery, aggravated assault, attempted murder, theft, illegal gun possession, and illegal drug possession and sales. Mr. Sledge, how do you plead to count to the charge of conspiracy to violate the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act?
Guilty.
And how do you plead to count 30, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon previously convicted of a felony involving the use or possession of a firearm?
Guilty.
Now, because Sledge took a plea deal, there are going to be certain conditions that he has to meet in order for the court to abide by the sentencing plan that was laid out in the deal. So Sledge is required to testify in any trial that comes from this indictment, and he's not going to be allowed to invoke his Fifth Amendment right on the stand. In return, the prosecution recommended 15 years probation for the racketeering charge, with the firearm charge getting dropped.
Deal that set Gunna free, a major development in a huge racketeering case. The Atlanta-born rapper, Gunna, whose given name is Sergio Kitchens, made a deal with prosecutors and walked out of the Fulton County Jail late this afternoon. Now, Gunna